Theme park? No. Amusement park? No.
Well, come on now.
Parks with rides? No.
Park you may not think would have a season pass available, but does, is Adventureland on Long Island.
Right, okay, a place that I know very well.
It's a very tiny park. They have some rides there.
10 acres.
There you go. 10 acres.
10 acres of fun.
And they offer a season pass. How do you feel about that, Brian?
How do I feel about that?
Well, you know that park very well.
Yeah, I kind of do.
So do you think that it's warranted?
I think a season pass can be warranted anywhere.
Okay.
I don't think it has anything to do with what the park offers or how big it is. If you have one roller coaster, if you have 20, I don't think that matters. It all comes down to what the pass is. Price is the main thing, and then any other perks or however else the whatever other elements there are to the pass. So that's what it really, to me, what it comes down to. I don't think there's anybody who shouldn't offer one if they want to. It's up to each individual park and whether it fits their plan, their budget, their scheme. So that's fine. I have no problem with Adventureland Long Island offering a season pass. What I do have a problem with is the price they want for it. And I think that's where this discussion is mostly going to go.
Okay, so
I think this is actually something that we have discussed prior to this conversation. And I know we agree on it. We've come to an agreement that a season pass, as how it is priced, it should pay for itself in 2.5 visits.
yes, I agree.
So essentially on the third visit, you're already getting your value. And then anything after that is essentially free as far as the park admission is concerned. So that's the criteria. That's what we're working with here. And now I guess we're going to look and see what the 2013 pricing was for most of the well-known parks around the country and see how they all did with that. Because I know from looking in past years, some of it gets pretty shocking.
Yes, it does.
As far as how they price themselves and how they came to the pricing, I have no idea.
Okay, so you want to look at Six Flags first?
All right, Six Flags, which I just from my gut feeling and how it's what I paid for it over all these years, I feel it's got to be the best value.
It's a very good value.
In pretty much the entire amusement industry.
You start to get benefits.
But what is the? Well, it depends on what park you get it at. I would imagine, right?
No, it doesn't.
Is it flat now?
No, the fee that they charge for the season pass is different for each Six Flags
park.
That's
what I.
But the number of times you need to go, that is the same number for each park before you start, until you start getting benefits. That number is 2. In 2 visits, you start to get benefits from that pass.
Already.
For every Six Flags park.
So that comes in under our own.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which park you go to, which park you buy your pass from in the Six Flags chain.
Now, is that just the park specific pass, or is that the?
No, that pass is good for the whole chain.
That's the Six Flags pass.
Okay, the most expensive season pass in the Six Flags chain is at Six Flags Great America, $82.
What? Great America.
Yeah.
Not Great Adventure.
No, Great Adventure is $80. 3 are $80. Six Flags Great Adventure, Six Flags Over Georgia, and Six Flags Over Texas.
We still haven't gotten Magic Mountain. I'm really shocked about that.
Magic Mountain is $78.
Oh, a couple dollars cheaper.
Yep.
Interesting. All right, but in each case, we're looking at second visit. You're already getting your deal.
That's correct. Yep.
And then anything after that is gravy,
Yep.
as we say.
As we say in the biz. Okay, so
The talking asshole biz.
do you want to look at Cedar Fair now, or you want to keep
Let's look
looking
at
Six Flags?
No, that's it. I mean, that's got to be about the best deal, right? Because
It is the best
you're
deal.
getting all the Six Flags parks, you get the entire chain. So if you're doing any kind of traveling, it's amazing.
Does
So
not
that's additional. Not only are you getting your pure price, admission price benefit from 2+ visits, but you're also getting access to, what is it, 12, 13, whatever the complete chain is. You're getting access to all those parks for that particular season, which is an incredible value. I know personally for myself, that's the one pass I've had the most. I've had it, I think, every year since about 2000, actually.
Yeah, there
Not always the same park. I've moved around and got it a few different ones, but
have been years where I say I'm not going to get a Six Flags season pass
every year.
and then I always end up getting one. Because if you go 2 times, you're already good.
Exactly. How could you not get it?
Exactly.
The deal is ridiculous.
It does not include parking, and parking at Six Flags is expensive, but it's still a great deal anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't include that most expensive in the business price for parking. But it still ends up being a pretty good deal. It's an excellent deal. More than pretty good.
Okay.
And in comparison, all right, so then Cedar Fair, that's your other major regional chain. Now, I know they're more expensive.
The parks in the Cedar Fair chain, the number of visits before you start getting benefits varies.
No, they didn't price themselves. Well, is that the same price, or it's within $10, I think, or is that the case? No matter which park
What
you
is?
buy it in?
The
They're all
season
about
pass price?
150. Now Cedar Fair, I know, again, for sure, does a park-specific one. And they also do they call it, the Platinum Pass?
Yes.
Is the one that's good for all the parks in the,
Yes.
in the chain. So I guess we'll just look at the Platinum Pass at this point.
Okay. I have both,
Oh, okay.
if you want to look at both, because I think that is interesting, the way it breaks down. But if you want to talk about the Platinum Pass is $195. That includes all parks in the Cedar Fair chain, plus parking at all parks.
It includes parking, which is good. It's $195 no matter where you buy it?
Yes.
That's
That's a flat price.
that's steep.
And you need to go 5 times before reaping benefits.
Really?
With the exception of King's Dominion, 4 times there.
Okay, that's interesting. I wouldn't have thought
And Valley Fair, 6 times.
that. What? Well, I guess they're so cheap to get in on a regular day.
So there are 2 that are a little different there.
And it doesn't matter. It could be 5 times in the same place, or a combination of any of the parks in the chain.
Okay, I didn't do combinations because that's just going to be
Well, I know you can do every
way too many
combination.
combinations, so I didn't do that.
What were you doing?
I just
Are you
did.
slacking off? Come on.
You would go to the same park 5 times.
Yeah, but still, it's probably pretty much the same.
Yeah, 4 to 5.
If you're going some kind of combination, you're going to visit 3 of the parks in one season. It's got to be about the same.
Now, if you want to look at individual park season pass, Cedar Points is the most expensive at $125.
But they got the most expensive, probably daily admission, right?
They do not.
Wow.
I know, it's really weird how this all breaks down.
Yeah. Oh, who's got the
King's
most?
Dominion is $52 online. These are all compared to the online price, by the way, not the gate price.
Well, we're looking at the best deal you can get.
Yes, that's how I was thinking of it.
Yeah.
Because you're all savvy park goers. You're going to buy the ticket online, save a couple of bucks.
And this is why I've not gotten the Cedar Fair pass. many a season because it's just not as good a deal.
No.
It's expensive. It's a tough purchase with that initial price, and I have to really be sure that I'm going to a number of the parks in that particular season. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it.
Now, Dorney Park, their season pass just for that park is $124, so $1 cheaper than Cedar Point, but that does include parking.
So even the individual park pass includes parking for that park?
Just that park. The rest of them do not.
The rest of the individual?
Yes.
And then the Platinum Pass, that was free parking at your home park.
Oh, free parking everywhere.
Oh, everywhere now.
Yeah.
I remember a few years ago, it was just a home park.
Premium at the home park. Remember that? We parked at Great
Oh,
America.
was that what it was? Oh, you got free. Okay.
California's Great America. We got
That's how
real
it works.
close.
All right, I remember that. Yeah, okay. So not nearly as good a deal. They're not
No.
they're not trying to compete with Six Flags in that market.
No. In terms of the individual pass, Kings Dominion and Canada's Wonderland are the two where you start to get benefits after 2 visits.
Mm-hmm.
The rest are 3 visits, with the exception of Dorney Park, which is 4 visits. That's individual season pass for that specific park.
Okay, but like I was saying, I think even the Platinum Pass is not a great deal.
Not really.
Again, unless you absolutely know you're hitting 5 of the parks that year or something like that. It's not a great deal. In most cases, it really does make more sense to just buy a bunch of individual online tickets.
For the Cedar Fair parks, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's jump to the Legoland parks next because they also offer a pass that covers both of their US parks.
So there's a pass just for the 2.
Now, the Merlin season pass is $180.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That does include parking.
Oh, okay. I like when they include parking. I do like that.
And that would take 3 visits to get benefits.
That's a lot of Legos.
Yeah. The individual season pass for each Legoland.
We were bored in what, like 2 hours? 2-3 hours?
Yeah, those places weren't as sort of, I don't know, magical as we thought they were going to be.
Well,
They were kind of whimsical, but not, I don't know. I guess we were expecting something more on the level
immersive.
of, yeah, more on the level of Universal or something. Busch.
Yeah, I guess it's about as magical as plastic blocks can be.
Yeah. Well, it's also just geared more for kids, so I guess that didn't help.
Yeah, I guess it didn't help, huh?
But anyway, the individual season pass for each park is $130.
Individual for what?
For each park. For Legoland California, Legoland Florida.
Oh.
Those parks are expensive to get into. A single day at Legoland California is $71.
Oh, shit. How do they get away with that? That's crazy. You can just look at that. I mean, where do they come off? When I can get into Magic Mountain for what? What is Magic Mountain? Not even 50 online?
48.
I mean, come on. And it's going to cost me 71 to get into Legoland?
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. Some parks should really do. I mean, we're talking about season passes, but some parks, even just for the single day, they're just, I don't know where they come off thinking that they're worth what they think they're worth. But people pay it. I paid it. I begrudgingly paid it because I wasn't gonna not ever see it. But I mean, man, that's way too much money for that.
Well, speaking of high ticket prices, do you want to go to Disney?
What are they charging these days?
Well, Disneyland.
1,000? Are they up to 4 figures
No.
yet? Because
Disneyland has the most expensive season pass out there at $670. So essentially, they want your firstborn and an arm and a leg and your left nut.
Okay.
Now, that does include parking. How nice of them.
Oh, wonderful.
And that does include all dates, no blackout dates. Now, in order to get benefits from that pass, you would need to go 8 times.
Oh.
Now, that's a lot of times.
It is.
There are a lot of things to do there. It's a
I
great park, and DCA is shaped up.
it is
But 8 times is a lot.
it's too much money. I would imagine they have some kind of payment plan or something, probably.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
You could
yeah.
do.
Well, Six Flags has a payment plan.
Plus,
so.
of course, otherwise you're just gonna put it on your own credit card and pay it off that way. That's a lot to fork over at once. It's just a lot to wrap your head around that I'm paying this for amusement park entertainment. I mean, and it's a lot because I think the single day is way more than it should be at this point. They're way over what they should be. The
of
fact that
course.
they're raising it, what, $4 and $5, $8, depending, almost every year now.
Not almost, it is
I
every
guess
year.
it is every year. It's at least $5 a year they're going up now. Obviously, that way outpaces inflation. I don't know. It's just crazy.
Yeah. $92 at Disneyland for a single day.
Yeah, unbelievable. So it should all be the single day should be cheaper. Therefore the pass should be cheaper. The number of visits, though, you want to talk about 8. That I don't have a huge problem with, just because it is year round, and
If there's any place that's going to be a lot of visits, Disneyland should be it.
well, yeah, because I know even for myself, I might very easily do that if I live there, close by. I could possibly do that. I mean, would I though? Again, now
I don't think I could.
Now I'm thinking about it though. Would I actually do it though? I don't know.
No, as much as I love Disneyland, I don't know if I could go 8 times a
I don't know
year.
if I'd go that many times either. I don't know if I'd have the time really.
Sure.
It's just a lot. You're talking like I'd have
Plus-
to live within a few blocks,
Yeah.
and then where you just pop in for a couple hours in an evening.
Well, that's
stuff
part of
like
it, too.
that. But if I'm living a half hour or more away, where it's a bit of a kind of plan it and
Mm-hmm.
travel, plan a day around it. 8 is a lot, and anything more than 8, you really got to go 9 or 10 to really make it worthwhile. That's a lot. That's too much.
Yeah, and think about that for a second. You're paying for full days. So you need to go 7 full days, plus it comes in a little under a third of an extra day before the pass pays for itself. But like you're saying, you're not going to go 7 full days. You're going to pop in for a couple hours on a lot of those days. So you're paying for full days and you're not going for a full day.
Yeah, you really have to be a major Disney fan and know that you're going to go a ton of times.
You're going to go every week, and you're going to love it. Now, Disney World fares a little better. A little better? Disney World fares a little better.
LeBars, because they have the Country Bear Jamboree still there.
Well, yeah.
LeBar.
Of course they do.
So that makes the season
Oh,
pass
that was such a mistake to rip that out.
worth so much more.
Now, while their single-day admission is a little higher at Magic Kingdom, which is $95 now,
Oh, gee.
their season pass is a little cheaper at $610. Again, includes parking, no blackout dates. All 4 parks. Does not include the water parks. But what do you think about that? It's cheaper and you get 4 parks, but is it necessarily more to do?
There's a couple more things to do.
Mm-hmm.
All 4 parks combined versus the 2 parks at the California Resort. Not as much as you think
No.
when you realize
Definitely
that
not.
stuff is just spread out more. But there's a few more things to do. And so what does that break down to? About the same? 8 visits? 7?
7 visits.
Okay.
1 less visit.
So it's a little better deal. But again, it's just that's splitting hairs though. It's 7 versus 8. It's still
That's still a ton of
way
visits.
overpriced, and it's still you have to be a Disney fanatic. Otherwise, I just can't see it. Why you paying that? So this is interesting. So far we're really kind of looking at this, and aside from Six Flags as a chain, it really, unless you have certain circumstances in your personal situation for that particular season, or complete year in the case of Disney, it probably just makes more sense to just pay as you go. Even if you're going to go a couple times, just pay the price for a couple times. Which is one of those funny things. I think just the concept of a season pass, in a lot of people's minds, they just, without even ever doing their homework
Mm-hmm.
as
I mean, they didn't create a spreadsheet like I did.
no.
They didn't spend hours creating this thing.
No, that's just the thing. I don't think they're doing that out there. Exactly though. Yeah, unless you do that and look at it, they're just assuming that it's a great deal and it's gonna fit their plans. And if they really did look at it, they probably would find that it's not. Because someone
Yeah.
probably gets the season pass. Someone who lives in Southern California probably buys that Disneyland season pass and maybe goes 6 times. And they never even give it a second thought, and they probably just assume that they got a deal, because how could they not have gotten a deal? It's the season pass, and I went 6 times, and that would have cost a shit ton.
Right.
And that's what they're going to end up thinking, and if they actually did the calculation, they realize they're wrong. So I think a lot of this is just based on people kind of fooling themselves. I don't know if the parks are trying to fool you so much, but I think people just try to fool
We didn't
themselves.
necessarily get to that yet.
Oh, really? Okay.
But, well, just to talk about Universal for a minute, they're a lot more reasonable than Disney when it comes to the season pass.
Well, they're a lot more reasonable for a single day, or a 2-day, or a 3-day.
Now,
They're a lot more reasonable people.
Universal Orlando charges $92 for a single day.
Wow.
That's just as much as Disneyland.
That sucks.
The season pass is $280. No blackout dates. Does not include parking. But you start to get benefits after 4 visits.
So much better.
Yeah, I could definitely go to those 2 parks 4 times in a year. I could definitely do that, but going to Disneyland 8 times is a touch rough.
Yeah, it's a much easier number to deal with as far as what you're paying at the time. You could benefit from it a lot more, a lot quicker with 4 visits, and then you could easily go 5 or 6 probably.
Yeah,
If-
I mean
if you
that
had
includes
to.
both studios and IOA.
They do not include parking, so that's an interesting thing. If you really want to look at that, I guess you got to look at it as, if you possibly live close and you're going a lot, you may alternate parking with someone else that you're going with. You carpool.
That's a good idea.
Situations where you're splitting it. You may even be in a situation where you don't have to park at all, where you know some trick where you park some at a fast food restaurant down the street.
Yeah, you just walk
and
in.
take your chances or something like that. Again, if you're a local, you may know these things, and then that could help you too. So I do like when parking is included, but when it's not included, I don't immediately look at it as, well, then that's X amount of dollars added to each visit,
Right.
because not necessarily.
Right. I did not factor that in because, like you said, for the situations that you just outlined, it could be different.
Because parking is something that there are ways around it. You can work around it sometimes,
Yes.
a bit. You may be inconveniencing yourself a little bit, but hey, sometimes it's worth it.
Yeah. Now, Universal Hollywood does even better. 2
Well,
visits.
They should.
But 2 is a good number. I could go there 2 times in a year.
Oh, really? I don't know.
I could, sure.
That place is kind of rough. Yeah, no, I know. In a full calendar year, yeah.
Yeah. And right, that's open all year round.
Sure.
We've got the big ones out of the way. Busch was not interesting. 2 visits. Expensive, though. Busch Tampa's $80 for a day. Even Williamsburg is $70 for a day. That's
These prices
crazy.
are just getting ridiculous.
That's gouging. It really is.
So all these big parks aside, I know for me, it's really the small parks. In most cases, the individual parks, where you're just buying for that one park and what they offer. That is the most interesting and the most fun to go through, if you ask me.
Gilroy Gardens for a single day is $30 online. If you pay at the gate, it's $50. Their season pass costs $50.
Really now?
So if you didn't buy the ticket ahead of time and you're a local or you live within striking distance, you might as well buy the season pass.
Even if you're not, you might as well just buy it.
Just to have the card?
Yeah,
sure,
why not? It's a souvenir. Really? $50? That's it?
Yep. 2 visits. Well, or 1 visit if you didn't buy the ticket ahead of time.
Wow.
So that one was very interesting. That was the only one that was like that.
That's got to be a mistake.
I don't think somebody thought that through.
Somebody forgot to increase the season pass price or something. What are they thinking? And that's only good at Gilroy Gardens, obviously.
Yes.
I know they have a Cedar Fair connection, but I don't know if it's outright owned by Cedar Fair at this point, but I know it's at least managed by them.
Okay, so that one was interesting. Okay, so you want to work our way up to this? You want to start with the ones that take 5 visits?
Yeah, well, yeah. Who's really ripping you off here?
Holiday World.
Okay.
$170 for their season pass. You need to go 5 times to get benefits.
Wait a minute, 170?
Yeah. $40 for a single day.
$170, and all you're getting is that park,
Yep.
right?
I think so. They don't own anything else, do they?
Well, they were gonna.
That and the water park.
They tried, but yeah. Well, yeah, it's the 2 parks in kind of thing in one. It's all one gate, I believe, right?
Yeah.
$170.
More than Dorney Park. More than Six Flags, where they include every park in the chain.
They just, oh man. And this just gets to me, you know they have to just be picking a number that they think people will pay. That's what it comes down to. What's the maximum? They sit down on the table for a second, and what's the maximum you think people will pay to get into this place?
Yep.
And that's got to be it, because they're not basing that on anything else. They're not looking at value or how many visits are other parks or chains pricing their season passes at or anything like that. They're just looking at, what do you think we can get away with?
Yep.
When you're in that area, that's good old Santa Claus, Indiana, a really out-of-the-way place. So I guess it's sort of like captive audience, but it's not. They have to drive pretty far
Yeah.
to get other parks.
It's not open year-round.
Yeah, this is a seasonal. Well, yeah. I guess Kentucky Kingdom was the closest, but it's closed right now. It won't be. It'll open again one day.
Beach Bend.
That's the next closest one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a really small place. So I guess for that particular geographic area, for people who don't like to travel much, they are the only major game in town. But that's terrible. How can you do that to people? $170.
And
For what? One excellent coaster and a couple mediocre ones?
yeah, pretty much. And a nice Sally shooter and
Some great banners.
yeah.
I'm Santa Claus.
Was that the thing we went to?
That was just on one of the...
No.
He was on TV doing
what
that.
was-
That was...
Oh, that's right.
But I think
Yeah,
it's the
video.
same. It's the same. But it's the same guy. I think it's this guy we saw when we were there.
I'm Santa Claus. Yeah.
I caught him bending over and took a nice picture of
Oh,
that.
you did?
That was pretty funny. Remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
I'm Santa Claus.
Yeah, the business card to
Because
prove it.
I'm the real Santa Claus. Yeah, that's his proof. Because I have a business card. I was crazy enough to get a card printed with Santa Claus on it. Therefore, I'm the real Santa Claus.
Oh my god.
Keep that man away from your kids, please. Word of advice. I mean, I wonder how much they really are selling.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see if they do sell a lot of season passes.
Yeah, because I really don't. With parks like this, the smaller, like we mentioned, Adventureland at the beginning. The only other thing I can possibly see is amusement park as babysitter kind of thing, where lazy, not that interested in their kid's life parent will just drop their preteen or just early teenager kid off at the park once or twice a week and use it as a babysitter.
Yeah.
And then for that parent, if they're going to end up dropping their kid off twice a week for the whole 10 weeks of summer vacation, well, that's 20 times right there. So then any one of these adds up and makes sense. So maybe some extreme situation like that, they just buy it for your kid and then there you go. But other than that, I just don't see this. I don't see this adding up. I know it gets better, though. What else we got?
Okay, Maury's Piers is the next one.
Oh, well, what is that, like $100?
$325 for their season pass.
Oh, jeez. No, I was saying $100 just for a day. I know it's really ridiculous.
$52 for a single day.
I was way off.
You'd have to go 7 times to get benefits.
All right, I was way off of the one day, but $325, that's a lot.
That's insane.
And that's Maury's Piers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a little slow on that one.
I'm kind of waiting for this reaction from you.
Wait a minute.
I'm not getting it.
Hit me in the head next time, will you?
Talking about Maury's goddamn Piers here.
Well, holy shit. Wow, okay.
It's more than 3 times the price of a Six Flags season pass.
That is crazy.
Do you want to know the winner? Or do you want to think about Maury's Piers for a second?
No, I'm good. I don't want to think about it.
Come on, Jersey Junkyard. You can go on that thing at least 7 times.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Jersey Junkyard. That's the drive to the Maury's Piers.
Oh, ba-doom-tsh. The winner, the one that takes the cake,
The wiener.
is Nickelodeon Universe.
Wow.
Now, the season pass is $250. Not the most expensive season pass, but you would need to go 9 times to get benefits.
9 times.
Now, this is based on
Wow.
the wristband that you would get. The
Nick. Nickelodeon.
because the rides are on a point system there, point/ticket system. And this is if you were to get an all-day wristband, which costs $31.
That's steep right there.
Now, I think they are open all year round because they're indoors.
Yeah, you'd think. I can't imagine why they wouldn't be.
Right. So at least it has that going for it. But 9 times is a lot.
So maybe they upped it a couple times because they're open all year, but that's rough. That's really rough. I just can't
I don't
imagine why you would ever go for this deal. Except for the few idiots that just aren't thinking at all and just think it's a season pass and I'm going to come back. It's a mall. I shop.
Yeah.
And the kids run around and go on some rides, so I'll get the season pass for them. But, wow! Are you not getting a deal?
Not even close.
I can't. Why would you bother?
Is that place worth 9 visits in a year?
Well, no.
No, of course not.
Almost nothing is, though.
Right, not even Disneyland.
Yeah.
More than Disneyland.
But that, you gotta, maybe you could, it's debatable, at least.
But that's what I'm
The
saying.
Nickelodeon universe, though.
This is more than Disneyland.
This is
Not
crazy.
price-wise, but visits. Number of
That's why I
visits
love
you
looking
need
at
to go.
this, and I don't know if anyone really is, because it's.
I don't
it's,
think
it's just,
anybody
it's
is.
just crazy. You look around the situation here around the country. It's just insane. Did we get Adventureland, Iowa? I thought that was an especially good one, and so was Playland.
Playland. Okay.
Rye.
Well, Adventureland, Iowa, you need to go 4 times.
Oh,
It's $130 for their season pass. That includes parking.
well, that actually. So now again, compared to some of the ones we've already done here, though, that seems sensible.
It seems reasonable, doesn't it?
Yeah,
$40 for one day at that place.
that's kind of sucks, but okay.
Quasi, also 4 visits.
Oh, even Quasi? Come on.
$75
Who's
for a season pass.
Come on.
Does include parking, though.
Besides a free ride on the Warrior, what else are you gonna do there? Good for them.
Waldemere, 4 visits. $80 for their season pass.
Now the number 80, it seems fine, but when you figure what's the one day,
25.
this is 25. So, oh man.
Right Playland is also 4 visits.
Mm.
$95 for a season pass.
Oh Jesus.
$30 for a single day. However, if you are a Westchester resident, the season pass is only $80,
Oh, how nice.
and you would only need to go 3 times to get benefits.
Oh man.
But that's rough. That is extremely rough for that place.
Yeah, I mean all these small parks are. And it all comes back to Six Flags being such a great deal. Maybe it's just if Six Flags was priced differently and had been for all these years, I don't know, maybe we wouldn't be thinking this way. Because it seems like most of the smaller parks, with the exception of a couple, really kind of settled on the idea of 4 visits. and then it starts paying for itself. But because Six Flags is such a great deal, it just puts all this to shame.
Yep. Dutch Wonderland, 5 visits.
Oh, nice.
$124 for their season pass.
124. This just all seems too much. Like, it really, it kind of feels, now that we've looked at all this, it really kind of feels actually these places probably just shouldn't offer one. Just don't even offer one.
So it goes a little bit back to what I was saying before, where some of them don't offer it.
So,
it would make sense if your park just doesn't warrant it, if it's just too small.
Yeah, well, these places, Quasi, Rye Playland, they're so small. There's so little to do there. Just don't even bother, I guess.
Even Seabreeze.
So it's funny, this kind of changed my opinion.
Seabreeze in Rochester, outside of Rochester, New York, their
place.
season pass is $74. You would need to go 3 times. It's a lot for that place.
Yeah.
They're not all ridiculous, though. We already mentioned Six Flags, Dollywood in 2 visits, Silver Dollar City in 2 visits.
Oh, so they got sensible ones.
Some are sensible, yes.
See, that's nice. And because a lot of the thing is that you're just getting people in, and then they're going to spend money on everything else when they're in there.
Yeah, right.
So, and I wouldn't expect parks to just take a hit. But I guess that's a problem too. I guess I can kind of see that. If you're a small park, maybe all you have is your gate admission. Mm-hmm. Because every park, even the smallest ones, they have food, they have games, but maybe you're a small local-based park. I don't know how much, you're not going to be pulling in as much. People are only going for small amounts of time. They have their meals elsewhere. Maybe that's an issue. Maybe they feel they have to increase the number of visits. I guess Six Flags all these years has just been comfortable with their amazing value because they really rely on the idea of everyone's buying their $18 hamburger platter.
Oh my god! Yeah.
And their $8 pretzels and all that good stuff when they get there.
Mm-hmm.
And they do make a killing off that stuff. So maybe that's part of the issue. I'm just trying to understand it a little bit. But I guess now that we've come around and come full circle and done all this, to come back to where we started, maybe in our own local Long Island Adventureland, maybe I would feel better if they just didn't even offer it. Because it does seem almost kind of cruel what they're asking, and there almost does seem to be a little bit of a pull the wool over people's eyes effect going on here, where they just kind of expect people not to think about it. I'm going to come at least 2 or 3 times this summer. Maybe at least once each month, June, once July, once August, so 3 times. So I'll just get it. And there maybe almost does seem to be something a little devious about some of these.
So the way this whole thing breaks down, I think is very interesting.
So now I'm just depressed because I'm reminded
it is
about
a little depressing,
how expensive all this shit is.
But it's important to go through and to see how it all breaks down.
No, it is. It starts as fun and then it just gets depressing.
Yes.
And I realize how much money I've dumped into this hobby and how much more I will have to dump if I want to continue going to all these places. It's just, it really sucks.
You just go to Six Flags then. You cut out everything else.
Yes, I'll just go to my least favorite chain and nothing else, and I'll be thrilled.
Well, I don't know. Disney is just becoming just too ridiculous with their prices.
Yeah.
Especially, there are other parks to do in Florida and California. You want to hit them all, but it's going to get harder and harder with these price increases.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that's something they're thinking about.
I hope they're thinking about it because
no, I mean that's
they're going to price themselves out.
Well, no, they're thinking about it in terms of we'll just keep raising it, so people are forced to
just go to us.
You
got to choose.
Yeah,
it's between me or Magic Mountain.
Yeah, I think so.
It's pretty dirty.
Even with these local and regional parks, a lot of it is coming to that, with what they charge.
Yeah, Holiday World, it's like, where else are you going to go? You going to not go to Holiday World? You going to drive a couple hours to some other park?
But no, not even that. But even if you are one of the people who are willing to, they're kind of pricing themselves in such a way that you're just going to go to Holiday World.
Oh, I see. You're going to lay down the money.
You're not going to make it that hour and a half or 2 hour drive to Beach Bend, because even if you, at the beginning of the summer, you kind of planned it. Now, I'm talking about now non-enthusiasts now. We're talking about just casual park goers. Because of the pricing now, you probably are going to less parks than you would have.
Mm-hmm.
And they are kind of making you choose. And because you're going to end up spending so much money that one day you take the family out to Holiday World, and then you end up, maybe you were thinking about it was a maybe, but then your journey to Beach Bend in August, later in the summer, just doesn't happen because you just don't ever have the desire to spend that much money on one day again until next summer. And on a larger scale, yeah, with an Orlando vacation, sure. Disney wants Disney, more than any other park chain or system or whatever you want to call it, resort, has always had all their tricks to try to get you there and keep you there and not let you do anything else or discourage you from doing the other parks. Universal, mostly. SeaWorld has become a lot bigger in the last decade. But now, just with pure price, they're even doing it. For years, they were using their resorts and their transportation system and their to and from the airport transportation system, all that good stuff. And now they're even just purely pricing you out.
It's kind of mean.
You're going to be forced to spend all your money, your entire vacation budget on just us, so you're not going to have money to go to Universal now.
Right. They're forcing you to choose because of the price. They're not luring you there because of new and exciting attractions.
Yeah, it's really down and dirty.
That's really mean.
It really is.
It's really not right either. It's, I don't know. On a certain level, it's despicable.
Mm. So screw you, Disney. They got to stop this. And they're not. They're definitely not. They're going to keep raising it every year. And we're all going to have to shell it out. We're all going to have to bend over and take it. So get ready. Just go commando next time. Don't even wear your underwear next time you go to Disney, and just be ready for the for the raping. Thank you for riding.
Hey guys, we'd love to know what you think. Post a comment or question on thanksforriding.tumblr.com, or you can email us at thanksforriding@yahoo.com.